What's up, guys? Me again. This is part 2 of the Drum Foundry stuff. Let's see, with the shell, it's kind of on the Drum Foundry. They have little tutorials on how to do this stuff on their site. It's like on the left-hand side, you go scroll down and you'll see it. It just says like drum building tutorials or something like that. And they kind of say how to make this easier for you. But I started, as you can see, it's 9:19. Go ahead, make fun of my watch, whatever. I started at 8 o'clock. And I already have all the holes drilled, everything taped off, marked, like everything. It took like an hour to do this. Which I was really surprised. I thought it was going to take forever. And then again, it did take me like 5 minutes to drill the first hole because I was all worried about it. But, yeah, so they have like a thing where you can take this and glue it to like a piece of wood with like a swivel on the bottom of it, drill this hole out and get like a rod so you can like clamp down your drum so it doesn't slide. But if you just be careful, it's not going to be a problem at all. So what I did was I took Drum Foundry, I don't know why, highly recommends 3M brand like Scotch tape, blue painter's tape, for the least amount of residue leaving, like for left on the drum. So I went ahead and did that. I didn't want to take my chances, especially with my first drum. So I used that. Let's see what else. Oh, this is, if you guys are wondering, the shell scrap that you can get free with every purchase looks exactly the way it does in the picture. I thought it was going to be like some broken piece of maple, but it's actually like really well cut. It's part of a let's see, 22, 24 maybe. It's part of a 24-inch bass drum or a very large tom-tom, whatever you want to decide for yourself. But yeah, I thought it was going to be like a broken shell or something, but it's actually like a slice. I don't know why they would even do that. Probably the shell didn't come out right. Oh, by the way, these are Keller shells, as you can read on their site. You can read it, basically everything I'm telling you. I just figured I'd put it in my own words because I like talking about it. Yeah, so what you do is you figure out where you want your first lug to be. And I put it, you actually can't see it, but on here you can see the seam of where the like one of the plies is. So, and there's one on the inside and then one on the outside directly across from it. My first lug was directly on top of the one on the outside. So as you can see up here, they have like color coordinated lines for 6 lugs, 8 lugs, and 10. And since this is such a small drum, I'm having 6 lugs because you can't buy. I would have done 8 just for precise tuning, but the hoops don't come with 8 lugs. But it's a 10-inch drum, so it's gonna be fine. So what you do is you line it, or first you tape it up just around here. You don't do these ones yet. And then line it up wherever you want it. Be really careful that you do not, and first off, sorry, I don't have a plan for what I'm saying, so bear with me. Keller drums the shells are like 1/4 are like, I don't know, they're smaller than the size they say they are by like a tiny bit. So you have to make sure around the whole way that the spacing between the 10-inch line and the shell is the same, because otherwise your markings are going to be off a little bit and it could potentially affect the tunage of the drum. So you got to watch out for that. So once you get that all done, you're going to want to make like a tiny little mark where the green because we're dealing with 6 lugs here, the green line right here. Just make a little mark there, one at that green, all the way around. And then once you get that done, you're going to want to cut slices of tape that will go lengthwise or height-wise, and just put them along here, and then right next to where your original lines were. And I like triple check these lines. I actually did it messed up a little bit, you can see. So definitely like quadruple check this, because you don't want to make a $350 mistake here. So once you get the tape all taped up and stuff, you're gonna want to take your T-jig, and it's not sized right here. You can see there's a little gap, but you get the general idea. You put it on here, make sure it's all straight and whatnot. Another note I want to make is that the T-jig, it's a little off. Right, I don't know, you can really, I don't know, from where the silver like slides through, there's a little notch in the red part, and it's a little bit bigger than the ruler. So just make sure it's flush up against one of these sides, because otherwise it's going to be crooked and your lines are not going to be straight. So what you do, put it on there, make a line, go over there, make a line, do that 6 times or 8 or 10 depending, and then yeah, and then you got that done. So what you do next is get your tension rods, which I was kind of, when I was making this shopping cart, I was kind of weirded out about what size mounting or tension rods to get. So I just went with like kind of a generic size, 1 1/4 inch, because I didn't really think of it at the time. But even if I got them too big, I could just slide the lug down, depending, and it would I don't know, it might make the drum look a little weird, but it would still work as a drum, which is all I'm kind of looking for right now. So that's what I did for that, and so I wasn't worried about the tension rods not fitting or anything. So then I'm trying to find my tension rod. There in my pocket. Okay. Sorry. So what you do is you take, I can't really do this with 2 hands, but you take the T-jig, set it up here, put the, you know how big the tension rod is, right? 1 1/4 in this case. So you take your little lug here, and then put this part, and this is really hard to describe, my bad. You set the 0 right at the red, put it there, so the 0 is right at the edge of the shell, and then put your lug, here, let's pretend like there's a shell right here. You put your lug 1 1/4 right where the, at the very edge of where the tension rod's going to enter, 1 1/4 inch away. And then what I did, they say to do it a harder way on drumfoundry.com. They say to like do it like this, and then carefully turn your lug on its side, and then like kind of eyeball where the middle of the mounting screw is going to be, and then mark where to drill your hole. But seeing as this is a what do they call it? A single point lug. It's kind of hard to turn it on its side and have it stay still, because it's going to be rocking back and forth. So what I did is I measured how like big the lug is from, I actually used the jig for this. I did it, put it right up against the edge, and then saw how far away from the end of the lug to the middle of the mounting screw area is. And then I just added that to 1 1/4, which is the tension rod. And then from there, I could just look at that measurement, measure it on here, and mark my hole. Gonna go to part 3.